Hey, good morning everybody. How are you today? I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Nice Wednesday here in my world, and I hope your week is going well also. Today I just wanted to talk about, this is kind of a rhetorical question for you to look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're not happy with where you are on your lifestyle. And let me just say from the beginning, this is strictly a high carb vegan lifestyle I'm talking about, whether you're doing raw to 4, whether you're doing fully raw, whether you're doing starch solution, whatever. What is holding you back on living that lifestyle the way you would like to live it, being cleaner on that lifestyle, not falling, not eating bad things, not having that guilt, just basically being successful on any of these lifestyles? To me, my definition would be you're successful on your lifestyle if you've come to peace with it, if you're happy with how you're living day to day. Now, if you're making mistakes and you're beating yourself up and you're having guilt and you're eating things you don't want to be eating, ask yourself why. What's holding you back from going all the way on whatever path it is you've decided to take? I think a lot of times what holds people back, it's just almost like it's a little psychological thing, and it has to do with fear. It has to do with fear of failure. And if you don't go after it, like if you don't make a bold declaration, or if you I'm not telling people not to be gentle on yourself. I don't want this to be a heavy-handed message. I'm not saying, toughen up, get there, do what you got to do, but you have to stop giving yourself so many excuses and so many outs. Because our brains are funny. Our brains are like children. Our brains will take, sometimes we have to fool our brain and work around it a little bit. Or maybe it's not even our brain, maybe it's just that little inner self somewhere in us. But if we make these excuses, we're going to take these excuses. I've never understood it, where people are dieting, eating like us or whatever, cheat meals. I understand them in a way, and I don't understand them in a way. I understand having a meal that's a little bit special every once in a while, but I don't really like going to the point of a cheat meal to where it's something like really bad. In other words, like for me, I'm mostly fully raw, and a splurge or a special meal for me is just always going to be a little more fat than I usually eat. And the biggest splurge meal I ever eat is about 4 times a year when I go to the States, and I eat this Middle Eastern platter that has hummus, stuffed grape leaves, tabbouleh. It's all vegan, but it's cooked and it's much higher in fat than I normally eat. But you know what I mean. It's like either when people decide to consciously have some cheat meals, or when they just fall off the wagon and they eat some of this stuff. I've talked about this before. Is like if you're one of the people that is unfortunate enough to really struggle with cravings, and I can't talk a lot about that because I'll have to admit I didn't go through many cravings as I changed my lifestyle, and I haven't had very many cravings. The most I'll ever have is kind of an intellectual passing of thought of like, oh, that shirt, oh, yeah, I remember that, oh, that looked good. But I can't remember any times. I'm sure there's a few times where I've struggled, but I can't remember any times where I've said, yeah, I've almost struggled like I'm going to eat that. But I think it's because I didn't have a full-on plan set out once I went raw vegan, but I had a process in my head, and I had this process, and I've talked about it a lot on these videos, about always moving forward. And I tried to get, cleaner and cleaner and cleaner as I went, and I tried to eliminate things as I was going. The oil was a big one back. Well, I started off without oil. I was really good without oil for about 4 or 5 months into the raw vegan thing, and then I got just crazy skinny. And then I didn't know a lot, I didn't have a lot of knowledge, so I kind of freaked out, and I just started using crazy amounts of olive oil just to try to put some weight back on. But I digress, I get off point there. What I was talking about is I had a loose process in my mind, like I wanted to continually keep getting a little bit cleaner, almost, just weaning myself off of everything. My transition, like as I've told you before, I didn't know I was transitioning. So my transition was probably slow enough to where I haven't had very much detox symptoms anywhere throughout this process, just because my transition went so slow. And some of the detox, yeah, I do remember. It was just more lack of energy and what have you. But I had that plan, and I don't know. I think sometimes I can. I try to look at other people's experience doing this thing, because I know I'm a weirdo. I'm way out there. I'm very much, I don't live a life like anybody else that I'm networking with mostly. I don't have family. I don't have obligations. I have a pretty low-key, low-stress job. I have a nice house, nice quiet little house. I come home to peace and quiet at night. And I'm not a social person, so I don't deal with family and friends, any negativity from them or just any obstacles from them. I don't deal with social situations because I'm not going out a lot in the first place. I don't have a problem, though, going out and drinking a club soda and eating a piece of fruit. But, so I understand that other people do have, I think, stronger struggles than I do, and I understand that. It's kind of like when you're sequestered, it's really easy. I try to think of all this stuff that I've done, and I try to put myself in that situation if I was around a lot of people, and I'm like, I'd have probably had a lot more struggle myself. But anyway, I don't know, maybe you're happy where you are, but if you're not, like I see a lot of people that are falling and they're not happy, so that's why I would address it. If you're happy, hey, some people don't want to go all the way. Some people are happy just to make some healthy changes and they get there, and that's their deal to work out. But for the people that are not getting there, it's just you may be just giving yourself too many excuses, too many outs, too many reasons. You think in your head, oh, well, but there's the husband, wife, I need to do this, there's a special occasion, the kids are doing this, I have to cook this for the kids are doing this, I have this event, and I'm just going to do this, and there's always a reason. Or, well, I'm going to eat this, and I'm not going to push myself hard because I'm going to be gentle with myself, and I'm going to pat myself and be very easy with myself. Now, I don't say go the opposite and be a taskmaster on yourself or a hard ass with yourself. All that works for some people. I can push myself pretty hard. Another thing that can be holding you back is set your mind, set your words, and a lot of times that will help your body to follow. In other words, like one thing I like to do with this channel, and I don't hit every mark, don't get me wrong, I'm not like, perfect by any means. I got so many more lifetimes to work out my kinks and problems and negative aspects that I don't have to live to be about 487. But, we all do what we can do. Now, excuse me a second, I'm multitasking today. When I go back to one that I've used over and over and over, and people are going, oh, he's pulling that one out again. What these excuses do is they give you that little out to eat things that you know you don't want to be eating, that you know you shouldn't be eating. Okay, ergo, when you eat those things, you just keep that cycle going because it's not cleaning out, and then the cravings keep coming up. Listen, I don't care how slow you do your transition, I don't care how gentle you want to be with yourself. There is, I don't think people like to use the word discipline and don't like to talk about that. And I don't think it's all about discipline. There's going to be some discipline that is required. Most people, there may be some people that step into this and just do it easy, flawlessly, with no effort. But most people are going to feel a little discomfort. And you're going to have to say no to that inner child, to whatever it is talking to you at some times. If you just say yes all the time, it's like with a kid. If a kid never hears no, they're not going to know. They're not going to change their behavior. They're not going to understand what is the correct behavior for them because they're not being disciplined, ever. Now, I'm not saying you have to heavy-handedly discipline yourself, just like you wouldn't want to heavy-handedly discipline your child. But at some points, you are going to have to be a little firm with yourself, and you're not going to have to be this mamby-pamby, oh, well, it's okay, and I want the pizza. Well, no, at some point, if you want to do this. That's all I'm saying. Just like with the cigarettes. Every time I would smoke a cigarette, it would be, okay, Monday morning, and something would come up. And I'd have something in my head to justify it, like, oh, well, but you know what? Well, shit, I didn't see this coming. So this is coming, so I need down a cigarette, and then I will do it again later. Well, I set myself back, and what I don't realize is there's always going to be stressful situations that come up. There's always going to be stress. There's always going to be, you're going to be sad about something. There's always going to be an event coming up with your significant other, your kids, your family, whatever. There's always going to be something. So you have to decide, are you going to always grab that excuse? Is there always, 4 years down the road, is there going to be, yeah, but well, I thought I was going to blah, blah, blah last night. But think about what you're doing. Think about your process. I like to talk about the process a lot because I think a lot more of this high-carb vegan lifestyle is psychological rather than physical, as far as getting there to the food. It's tricking our body into changing patterns, that sometimes we've followed these patterns for decades. It's basically retraining the mind, but it's something that we have to go to. So to end this one up, I'm not going to ramble. I say I'm not going to ramble, but I ramble every day. I'm a rambling man, sorry. But to wrap it up, I think it's just like, stop giving yourself so many outs. Stop giving yourself so many excuses. Stop looking for excuses and face up to it and ask yourself, am I looking for excuses? Or are all these excuses about the hubby, the wife, the kids, the family, the special event, the wedding, the this, the that? Are they all like things that I really think are obstacles, or are they just little excuses that I'm using to justify the behavior that I'm clinging to? Anyhow, that's my little bit of pop psychology for the day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel. Hope you'll share this with your friends. And I hope you're having a wonderful week. We're in March now. Anybody out there going on spring break anytime soon? We're starting to fill up in town with spring breakers a little bit. Not too much. We're no Cancun or one of those crazy places, but they're around. Anyhow, have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace.